I get that, but then like, what about when you're not on the floor, when you're going out to eat, and they're like, "Hey, Rob, where are you going to eat?" And
Yeah.
you want to go eat with some of your top tier follow friends.
Yeah. So that's a tough one.
Creed?
Yeah, it was what was it?
Can you take
No,
me?
no,
That's
no. The
Creed.
other one, the one last breath. It was like 6 feet from the edge, but 6 feet ain't so far.
All right, you lost me. I
Okay.
only know one Creed song. That was it.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching Left Foot, Right Foot. And we are on the road to get 2,000 subscribers.
Yeah, it's been a great journey. Thank you all so much for supporting us. It would really go a long way if you click that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you get all of our updates. And thanks again for watching. So Rob, you are obviously one of the more friendliest faces in Tango. So you encounter a lot of people. What do you do when you have a really chummy friend or person that that you really get along with, but they suck at Tango?
Oh, this is tough because I mean, generally, I've got a friend like that, and I spend a lot of time trying to help him out, but sometimes he doesn't listen. And that makes it really hard, especially when we're going out to like a festival or a Malanga, because like he's a really good guy, right? But I want to introduce him to a lot of my friends, like, hey, here's so and so. He's a really cool guy. We're having I'm inviting him to dinner, and everyone, and the thing is,
people dance with them. They're like, oh, there's that guy I hate dancing with.
Yeah.
And now it's awkward because we're at the same dinner table.
Or they're at the dinner table, but they assume because I vetted him because he's a cool guy, they think he's a decent dancer, and I kind of want to do the wink, wink, like hey,
no,
yeah, so
don't do it.
because especially at a festival, it's really rough,
Yeah. You're gonna be guilty by association.
Yeah, but generally, what I do is I introduce this person. I introduce people to what I think would be a good match.
The matchmaker thing.
Yeah, no, seriously, because if I know the guy's terrible, I'm not gonna introduce him to my favorite dancers.
Right.
We might have dinner at the same table, but I'm not gonna be like, hey, this is Joe.
No, but what if they go, oh, I saw you dancing with that so-and-so girl over there. Like, yeah, you think you can introduce me?
Yeah, and generally I'll just be like, I'll be like, hey, you know what, like we'll see. I'll start with like we'll see, but then I'll beeline him to the person I think I want to introduce him to, because like I take a first strike approach, meaning that if I fill up his dance card, he doesn't have enough time to ask about these other people. So I have a plethora of people I can introduce him to.
Yeah, but if it's a really good marathon, there's going to be some really usually some pretty good dancers there.
Yes, but I will start him on like the C ranks. Be like, here's the C.
The bunny slopes.
Yeah, because here's the thing. It's like, if he dances with an A rank person, like they're not gonna have a good time. He's gonna feel it. He's gonna be messing up. Unless,
he might love it, but the other person might hate it.
Yeah, but sometimes people you want to introduce people. For me, I want to introduce people to that is appropriate dance wise, and if I start him too high, it's just he's not going to get many dances afterwards. So start him with something that's more appropriate, and I think at a marathon there's tons of people. I mean, I can still introduce him to people where he's punching above his weight class, because like maybe the gender imbalance is off and there's not enough leads.
Yeah, they'd just rather be dancing than not dancing.
Yeah, but they're not like S rank, followers. So that's why my whole mission is to fill up his dance card so he doesn't ask questions.
So you gave the example of a very new person, right?
Huh?
This person is new.
Sometimes it's new, and okay.
So I'm saying, what if it's somebody that's experienced, that's danced many years, taken many private lessons with all your favorite maestros, and they believe that they are on your level or even more, right?
Yeah. I actually have a friend like that. Like, I've got friends who think they're the best in LA. Like, you
I'm
know,
the next coming of Gabriel Mise.
yeah, no, I got friends like that. Yeah, but still, I take the first strike approach because if I could fill up their dance card, that's less time for them to ask questions and make requests. And yeah, it's the first strike approach. You know, I did that a lot as an organizer. I always like if there was someone that was kind of that I knew was going to be problematic.
Yeah.
First strike. You know,
First strike.
no, because the thing is, like the best offense is the one where you keep on throwing it, like you keep on throwing attacks because one of them's going to go through. You know, so like that's what I mean. It's like if you strike first, you get them on the floor, you get them.
I get that, but then like, what about when you're not on the floor, when you're going out to eat, and they're like, "Hey, Rob, where are you going to eat?" And
Yeah.
you want to go eat with some of your top tier follow friends.
Yeah. So that's a tough one because I'll be honest with you, I have taken about to like I do give the wink, and I hope no one catches it. But like again, it's at their own peril. Like I don't introduce them and be like, hey, like there'd be a great, Sometimes there's kind of like I don't want to say like we have a safe word, but there's a different way I introduce people who are not a good match. So if I introduce somebody and say something like, "Oh, hey, this is a cool person. Totally loves dogs," sure, right? Like because the focus on that, right?
Yeah.
But if I introduce people where it's focused, it's like Tango focused, like, hey, like I want you to meet so and so.
They're one of the best dancers in
Yeah,
LA.
yeah. Or like they're a big fan of Gabriel Mise, or they're coming up to this workshop with Lorena and Gianpero, whatever. Like, so if I say something that is Tango related, then it's kind of like a green flag. But if it's like something like off, like totally non-Tango related or whatever, or it's like, oh yeah, you should check it. Like this person, like you should check out this person's stamp collection. That's definitely hey, you might have something in common. You guys are cool people, but like notice I didn't say anything Tango related.
Do you ever tell that friend like, hey, maybe like you could work on some of the things in your dancing?
Yeah, that's tough because if that is very tough.
Like, hey, we need to talk.
Yeah, no, like, intervention. No, because I've mentioned things to friends like, hey, why don't you lead me, right? And I'll do this, and I'll throw out a few feedback points.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, sometimes they're just like, no, I'm good, and there's nothing I can do about that.
Can't help someone that doesn't want to be helped.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, well, I'll be like, I'm your friend, so I'll be here when you fall down to help pick you up. But it's like if that's the journey you want to take, that's the journey you want to take, and I can't help you. But
Yeah.
if you're willing to, if they're like, let's say if they're new or they're like a D ranker, or they have a big chip on their shoulder, but maybe they'll listen to me if I say something.
Yeah.
Like there's hope, and I'll work with them. Like, hey, try this. Hey, try that, and then I can start slowly introducing them to better people. But
These followers don't understand my dance.
oh God, no, seriously, there are no like
They can't even appreciate what I bring.
yeah, no, like
Too much subtlety. They don't understand my subtlety.
my creativity is beyond their recognition.
Beyond their capacity. They don't understand my complexity.
No. I'll be honest with you. Like it's like it's not easy, and there's something about Tango, and like I'll be honest. It's affected me too. Because there were times that I had like a big chip on my shoulder. I'm like, yeah, I take all these lessons for the best maestros and all
my resume.
Yeah, all my teachers are Mundial champions. Like my CV is like 20 feet long.
I love. Oh my God, that used to be one of my biggest. I would save that for Gripe of the Week. Those people that have that resume, like took lessons from so and so. Like, please save me from that. Oh man, I cannot stand Tango resumes.
Yeah,
it's annoying.
but going back to it's just like some people just like some people just can't be saved, you know. I mean, as much as I want to help my friends out, like sometimes the best way to help them out is to let them fall.
Let them crash and burn.
Yeah. So
Pick up the pieces.
so if that's the case, and I recognize that, and so there's two things. One, I don't want to deal with the drama, so whatever. I'll fill up his dance card. The question is, like, hey, is this person local or is this person like out of town? But I got a good rapport with them. Because you see, if they're
or they're visiting out of town, they're hoping that you show them
See,
proper accommodations.
Because here's the thing, like, you know, if they're visiting out of towner, I'm gonna fill up their dance card, right, with someone who's appropriate. Because the thing is, even if I give them the hard pill,
yeah.
Those
people appreciate just to be dancing.
Yeah. So it's like, let's just get them in, get them out, service, like, you know, full service, done, you know?
But I didn't dance with anyone you danced with, right?
No, it's like, hey, stars in a line, you know? But what I mean is, but like, if it's, the hardest are the people who are local. Because they're local and then they have that chip on their shoulder and they're not willing to listen. That's like the hardest combination for me, because you do want them to get better.
This community's snobby. They don't even know what they're missing out on.
Yeah. And then the other thing is...
hidden diamond.
Diamond in the rough.
Diamond in the rough.
Yeah. Hidden gems.
Hidden gem, yeah.
But like, that's the problem, is that, you know, they're here to stay. They're part of the furniture, you know? And this is where my recommendation for that is, let them fall. And sometimes set them up to fail. I'm gonna.
Oh my goodness!
No, this is like, you know, because I have friends who, I egg them on. I really do egg them on. I'll be like, hey, you know what, like,
why don't you go dance with Super Pro over there?
No. I'll be like, yeah, hey, you know, you're like, you know, you're top 10 in LA, right? Like, come on, dude, let's, like, AT USA, let's go, man. You know, represent, you know?
That kind of egg on.
Yeah, because the thing is, they need to, like, because the thing is, if I tell them they suck, they're not going to hear it from me. Like, they're like, Rob, you don't know what you're talking about, you know?
You don't dance with me, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
You don't understand my dance.
You know, or like, you're just a different style. I hear that a lot. I hear that, you know, like,
you're in scenario now.
Yeah. It's like, you don't do the real tango like I do, you know?
It's true, authentic tango.
Yeah, I go to Argentina and, like, you know, no, I hear that. I'm like, hey, that's cool, you know? But that's when I'll egg them on and be like, hey, you know what, like, you should compete, or you should, like, do this other stuff. And because the thing is, I feel that people aren't willing or ready to change until they hit rock bottom.
Sure.
And, you know, sometimes, like, if you know that they're not there yet, like, you know, the hand of fate, you can kind of push them along, like, just nudge them over the edge, you know? It's like, well, what's that one song? It's like, Creed, you know?
Creed?
Yeah, you know, it was, what was it?
Can you take
No.
That's
No, the other one, the one last breath. It was like, 6 feet from the edge, but 6 feet ain't so far.
All right, you lost me.
Okay.
I only know one Creed song.
Yeah, I'll sing it later.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, seriously, I feel like if they're gonna be around for a while, you just gotta kind of push them over the edge, and there's gonna be that one there's always that one person in the community, and I call them, like, the man makers, you know?
Man makers?
Yeah, because, like, you know, they're gonna break ton, and they're gonna wreck you. Like, it's like they have such a high standard that they don't take any BS, you know?
Okay.
So yeah, like, set them up with the man maker, you know? It's like, like, you know, it's like, you know, the person who's just
Let's
killing
get
it.
ready to rumble.
No, because, you know, like, because the thing is, she's got something that everybody wants, you know, and she's not willing to deviate from her standard.
Sure.
So, you know, if someone is really, really good, everyone thinks they're good. Like, she's got the the back end of the community, and she's young and hot. There's always that like really amazing person who's like has got that supermodel status.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's the deadly combination.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you throw them out to the wolves, and it's like, what is he gonna say? Oh, she doesn't understand me. It's like, dude, it's like,
She's seen it all.
yeah, no, like I mean, like the guys from Argentina want to dance with her. You're saying like, you're saying like she doesn't understand me. That's like, that's to me that's the only way to really like if someone's that delusional, then they're beyond help. Like, so yeah, like sometimes it's just like, hey, just push them over the edge.
Interesting.
It's sad. I don't want to. It's something that's hard for me to admit, but like I'm a pretty manipulative person. Because it's like I don't mean to, but it's almost like it's almost like it's for the greater good.
For the greater good. My goodness, you need to sacrifice.
I know. No, it's sad.
Tango's hard though. It's.
It is, but I think it's hard because we have egos. We have such like giant ego, and like Tango feeds our egos, especially as guys, because there aren't enough guys. It's so easy. Like you hear everyone like, "Oh, you're so good, you lead so well," right? Because they're just saying that because they want to dance, and like I had my ego blown up like crazy, and it wasn't until like I was getting knocked down left and right, like, "Hey, dude, I'm not advancing in ATUSA." Like, well, I don't know what the hell's going on, and like it took me a few years getting knocked down to be like, "Shoot," and then I was almost like, yeah, not that good, but whatever, I'm having fun. And then I didn't know what to do. So it's like it wasn't until I didn't make my full 180 until like maybe a year ago. Yeah. So yeah, like I mean, if I went through this and I had a blown up ego and now like I'm more calm about it, it's like, yeah, it's like Tango does things to people, and I think the hardest thing is to like face the facts that like, hey, maybe you're just not, maybe I'm just not that good, and that's a hard pill to swallow, especially when you spend a lot of money and a lot of time on something.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I doing here, Because like, and then that's why people leave Tango. They're like, what am I doing here, I'm spending all this money and spending all this time, and no one's dancing with me. It's like, so it's like one of those things. Like you gotta push people to that edge where it's like, are you gonna leave, or are you gonna get better?
Yeah.
And it's, I guess, yeah, it's almost
one
like
of those two choices: either leave or get better.
Yeah, it's almost like when you have that friend who's like a junkie. Like I mean, I'm talking about a figure junkie. I'm talking about a real junkie. I'm talking about a real junkie.
Okay.
I have friends who are like on methadone and things like that, and are recovering addicts. But it's almost like they have to hit rock bottom, and in a sense, as a friend, it's almost like you have to accept that, like, it's almost like you have to accept that they're beyond saving, that you can't save them until they reach this point of no return, that then they're willing to pick themselves up. So sometimes when I see friends who are on that path, it's almost like, I hate to say it, I kind of take this point, I kind of make a point of like, you're kind of dead to me because there's nothing I can do about it.
You're dead to me.
No, it's sad, but like, I mean, like, what can you do? Like, because the thing is, the more you help them, the more you enable them to
get out of here, junkie.
Yeah, no, no, but the more you enable them to keep all their bad habits,
Yeah.
And like, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, they have to fall flat in their face to hit rock bottom, and I feel like that's the same thing with Tango. When people have their egos inflated and everything, they have to have that fall from grace and like hit flat, like face flat in the ground, and
face plant.
Yeah, and then realize like, hey, start from ground zero again. This is me wanting to be here. Like, I want to live. I want to dance tango. I want to do these things, and climb the way up. But yeah, that's what I do. Yeah. I mean, I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud.
It's an awkward scenario all around.
It is. But I'm not proud of what I do. But it's what I do, and I think it's pretty effective, or somewhat effective. Like, maybe that's my ego. I'm effective. But yeah, like I mean.
But it's hard when we roll in packs, and you have groups of friends, and then they're There are people that are obviously more experienced or more talented or more skilled in some area, and some people that aren't, and so there's this disparity there. And some people, they're gonna, feel like they're in a class that they're not in, and so it's
Yeah.
a tough scenario. But yeah, let us know what you think about handling this idea of, really good friend of yours, but just not the greatest of dancers. And, how do you handle that when traveling or when introducing them to other of your tango friends? We would like to know. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Left Foot, Right Foot.
We appreciate your support, and make sure you click that subscribe button and that like button. It really helps with the algorithm, and also you receive all our latest updates. Thank you.